Have you ever wondered what the fastest and easiest way to get out of your own head and hit that flow state where you can just go and speak to any woman that you want, go and approach and authentically express, get more phone numbers, get more dates? How do you access that state? I think a lot of guys know that that is in there somewhere, and they think that maybe it's fear getting in their way. And I want to share something with you in this video which will help you always access that state. And I learned this from coaching hundreds of guys over the last decade. And what I found was, well, what might surprise you is that they all make this same mistake. And it isn't to do with fear. It's more to do with the relationship they have with themselves and how they view fear rather than fear itself. So let me just explain that really quickly. They want to do the perfect approach. They want it to go well, and they're always in their heads trying to build up the courage to go and do it. And when they actually do it, they think, wow, that was amazing. They don't actually care about the result. So even though that it may seem that they're afraid of some kind of outcome, it's actually just them putting pressure on themselves to go and do it. So the reason that you don't get into this flow state is because you're putting yourself under too much pressure. And what the pressure comes from it going a certain way. And when you realize that just doing it and just doing it for the sake of doing it is the goal rather than the outcome. Because a lot of you don't really care about whether you get the number or whether you actually get dates. And yeah, that will come. But the problem is you just doing it in the first place. A lot of guys, they're so hard on themselves because they see a beautiful woman they want to go and speak to. They hear these voices. They have too much fear. They have too much outcome dependency on whether it's going to go well or not, whether they're going to look stupid. And then they're hard on themselves. And then they create this cycle of shame and guilt and self-attacking. When I do coach these guys and they actually go and speak to these women, they do overcome this anxiety. They realize that it isn't that big a deal. They were putting so much pressure on themselves. So the key then to access this state is to understand that it's you that's putting that pressure on yourself. You've got to massively lower the bar and realize that just approaching is good enough. Just doing it is good enough. It's going to make you feel amazing. So the big realization then is this self-generated pressure that you're putting on yourself for it to go a certain way, for it to be perfect, for you to not be nervous, for you to not have this fear. And the truth is, you're still going to always have this fear at some level. So stop putting that pressure on yourself and just use whatever you've got. And I promise you that once you do this a couple of times, you'll realize it isn't that big a deal. And that's when you start to build momentum with this, and you are actually a lot more social. You'll start to go to parties more. You won't start isolating as much. And it depends. And different guys have a lot of issues going on, which may be from mental health issues or whatever, and trauma. And that really holds a lot of guys back. Depression really holds guys back. But the truth is, momentum is key. And when you realize that you can build momentum by just taking a few steps, taking action, then you will start to realize that it's you that's been putting so much pressure on yourself. And that's when this starts to get a lot easier. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps. If you enjoyed this video, watch this video here. It's amazing. See you in the next video.